let's get one or two with the Triple Diamond, then we'll go to the Triple Diamond Max. I'm really curious to see kind of where that product falls in line when you compare it to everything else.
You know what the benefits of a 4-piece golf ball are. This is very similar. This is a 3-piece face instead of a 1-piece face.
Let's see what that Triple Diamond Max does.
Welcome back to our Scottsdale studio. I'm Mark Warball, joined by Master Club fitter Sam Kim, and we have a special guest coming from Carlsbad. We have Evan Gibbs from Callaway. Evan, what is your role with Callaway? What do you do?
I'm Senior Director for Woods and R&D.
Okay, so I'm holding the Max D as well as the Max. Sam, what's in your hand?
I got the Quantum Triple Diamond Max.
What about yourself?
This is the Quantum Triple Diamond.
Okay. What's the story? What are they supposed to do?
So the big new technology that's in all of these models is our Tri-Force face.
Okay.
It's the first ever multi-metact. Delivers more speed and more consistency across the face.
So we'd expect spin rates to be really consistent, ball speeds to be even higher than previous, I guess, Elite.
Yeah, ball speeds are higher, and yeah, the spin consistency is something you'll notice across all these models. Tried to lower spin generally across the board, but more so make it a lot more consistent. So the biggest drop in spin will come when you hit shots low in the face.
Okay.
We actually added a little bit of spin high in the face to create more stability. So lower overall spin, but a lot more consistent.
That's great. And shapes, have they changed much at all?
Head shapes, small little tweaks, but fundamentally not too different in terms of head size and shape.
That's great. Well, I'm excited to see the differences between all 4 models here. Sam, let's go in the bay. Evan and I are going to watch you put on a show, and we'll see what the differences are.
Yeah, these look great. I'm excited to hit them. Let's do it.
Let's go. I want to start this testing off with the Triple Diamond model. Evan, I would assume this would be obviously the lowest spinning model, probably the smallest of the bunch?
Yeah, so this is definitely geared towards better players. Head size is the smallest of all the models, and it is the lowest spinning.
Let's give it a rip. You would maybe expect start line to be all right?
Yeah, start line will be, relative to the other models, it will be the most right, and generally the most fade biased offering. But this year, unlike Triple Diamonds in the past, there is adjustable perimeter weight, so you do have kind of 2 unique shot shape offerings, one more neutral and one more fade.
You can make this thing very fade biased.
Yeah, on tour, a lot of better players who like to hit draws actually like playing fade biased drivers because it starts the ball to the right and they feel like they can really go after it and hit a draw without it hooking.
Oh, okay, that makes sense.
So, you know, a player like Xander, for instance, who typically plays a draw, this is the model that he uses.
That sounded absolutely flush, Sammy.
That was hit well. That was middle of the face. That felt really good.
I mean, I look at that from here and I see a lot of carbon, right? You have the crown, you have the bottom, and maybe what I'm hearing is maybe in the face too?
Yep, that's really the big story of these drivers is the Tri-Force face technology. Okay. So it's a multi-material face. First time Callaway's ever done it, first time really anyone's ever done that. It's got titanium as a striking surface. Okay. It's got composite on the very back, and then it's got a unique poly mesh material in between, which is a high strength polymer.
From a lie angle standpoint, does the Triple Diamond change compared to the other models?
It is the flattest lie angle, unchanged from the last couple of years. It's got a 57-degree lie angle, but yeah, it's the flattest of the bunch.
Oof. It feels really soft.
Yeah, I mean, it's also going to be the lowest launching of them.
Yep.
9 launch, 2,000 spin, 164 ball speed. So that left column as fitters, that's what we pay attention to. I'm not changing you. I'm going to fit that driver to your dynamics. And that one specifically, Sammy, really good on the monitor. Maybe tough outside to play golf that way. Definitely too flat. We need to bring loft up on that one shot. But I think that's doing what it's supposed to do.
Yeah, for that golfer, right, that needs to kill spin and maybe fights left, winner. That's not me. No. Right. But this is for somebody out there for sure. It does feel like it takes some effort to turn over, which I think is the point, right?
Yeah.
And Evan, how hard is it for you and your team to engineer something that is both low spinning as well as forgiving.
Yeah, so one of the challenges when you start lowering the center of gravity and lowering the spin is you get really concerned about those shots hit high in the face that are then get too low a spin.
Correct.
And then get really unstable and squirrely. And so that's one of the benefits of this Tri-Force face is it gives us a lot more control of the spin rates all over the face and less reliant just on the center of gravity for determining what the spin rates are. We can actually sort of tune different areas of the face. And so, we can make sure that the spin is low when you hit it on the center of the face, but it doesn't drop too much when you hit those high center shots to sort of protect the stability of that shot. And then those low center shots, that's typically where you see the most spin. We can really knock it down on those shots.
That's great.
And it allows you to really fit to a lower spin than you maybe are used to doing, because you'll notice when you start hitting those really shots high in the face that typically drop to 1800, 1700, you're not going to see those get that low on these. And that you're going to see your average probably in that low 2000s, 22, 2300, but those low spin shots probably won't go below 2000.
So that one to me, Sammy, looked like you tried to cut it a little bit. Yeah, so 3 across, launching at 11, spinning sub 2000, again, really good for that customer, right? Someone who's maybe higher speed, really across it, likes to cut it. That is a great product for that person. Remaining to go up in loft.
But it's good. It's doing what it's supposed to do.
Yeah, I mean, when you have 5 driver models, you want there to be a reason for each of them for being, and you're trying to fit different player types. So, trying to make these not too much overlap in the performance so that players can really navigate through these and really find the one that's right for them. And like you said, this is going to be generally for high swing speed players trying to keep the spin down and trying to take the left out of play.
With that weighting system in the back end, that's new for the triple diamond.
Yeah, we've had kind of front back weighting in the past where you can sort of fine tune launch and spin, but we found that changing loft is the easiest way of just changing launch and spin.
Yep.
This really gives you both of those options.
There you go.
That's pretty good, Sammy.
Yeah.
But you can see too, for being the head that's the smallest head shape and the lowest MOI of all of them, it's pretty stable left to right as well, even especially for spins that are 2000 RPM.
Yeah.
You're not seeing a ton of shot curvature. And so for that player type, having again that combination of kind of low spin with forgiveness. And then when you go to the Triple Diamond Max, you're just going to see that even more so.
Well, let's do that, Sammy. Let's get 1 or 2 with the Triple Diamond. Then we'll go to the Triple Diamond Max. And I'm really curious to see kind of where that product falls in line when you compare it to everything else.
Yeah, that feels great. I think what I've noticed of all these is they've all done the same thing every time, which is consistency. That's what we're looking for. No question there's fade bias here. But if it's going to be fade bias, let's make sure it does the same thing every time. And that's kind of what it's done. And I think that's great. It feels awesome.
For what it's trying to do, it's doing a really, really good job of being low spin, being fast, and maybe a little bit of right bias.
Let's see what that Triple Diamond Max does.
All right, Sammy, we have the Triple Diamond Max, which Evan, this should be the more forgiving of the 2 Triple Diamond models, correct?
Yeah, so it shares a lot of the DNA with the Triple Diamond. Head shape is very similar. It is a touch bigger, so it's gonna have a little bit more inertia, a little bit more forgiveness, and just generally a much more forgiving trajectory. So it's gonna start not quite as right, gonna start a little straighter, a little easier to turn over, and a little more consistent.
Yeah, maybe it is the shape, but when I set it down, it definitely looks like it's going to be less fade bias. However, that makes sense.
Yeah, the face isn't quite as open on this as the Triple Diamond, so it does sit a touch more square.
Cool. Yeah, to my eye, that looks great.
Really good sound right away. Well,
Yeah, still fairly low spin, but a little higher launch.
Yeah, and my traditional shot shape is going to be a little fade, so definitely what I'd expect.
That's definitely higher though, Sammy. Just watching it, the golf ball hit the screen, that's a higher launching window. So a little bit of a tug, right?
Yeah, just pull the touch.
So you'd assume that face gets shut, maybe that launch comes down. We saw with the triple diamond, you're around that kind of 7, 8, 9 area. So that one, you're right at 10. So, you know, even a slight tug is still launching a little bit higher and spinning probably 200 more RPM, somewhere in there. And Evan, this still has some adjustability in the back as well, just like the triple diamond?
Yep, so 2 distinct shot shapes. You'll see probably about 8 to 10 yards difference in average dispersion between those 2 settings. For the triple diamond models, it's a neutral and a fade, and then when we get into the max model, it's a neutral and draw.
Okay.
And then we'll have a sort of a max draw model
on
the other
that
end.
Bias a little bit more.
There it is.
This is the 5th generation of the AI Smart Face, and now you're combining it with 2 different materials, so 3 total materials. I guess my main question is why? What were you seeking?
So we started to see a couple of years ago that we were sort of reaching the limits of titanium.
Okay.
You know, titanium is a great material in a driver face. Its strength to weight ratio is great. It gives us the ability to forge in kind of an advanced face topology and really control the thickness of the face, like we do in the AI Smart Face. But in order to keep making it thinner, we had to make it stronger. And one of the ways we made it stronger was to add this poly mesh on the back, which added strength without adding stiffness. So it gave the reinforcement to the face and allowed us to make the face 14% thinner than it was in Elite.
Wow.
But it didn't add a lot of stiffness, so it retained all the flexibility, but allowed us to make the face a lot thinner. And then the carbon on the back, you know, carbon is a material, obviously very lightweight, but it's very strong in tension, very weak in compression. So it's not a great material to have on the front of the face where you see compressive forces, and it's really good on the back of the face where that carbon is put in tension. So again, it reinforces the strength of the face and allows us to overall make a more flexible face.
This hits so good.
This would be, you know, a client walks in, and specifically for our true spec clients, you're more kind of serious golfer, maybe playing 50 to 100 rounds a year. To me, I look at this driver for a triple diamond max. That's probably your single digit handicap guy. Really wants that tour inspired shape, but probably can't be that low spin in that triple diamond.
But also it's just a preference thing. You know, players who want a slightly different shot shape or want a touch more spin. So it might not be, you know, we're gonna have a ton of tour players in this model. And there's gonna be a ton of guys I know in our office that are 10, 15 handicap, they're gonna play this model as well. So it does fit a broad range, especially with having those 2 shot shape options. But generally, yeah, not quite as good of a player as the triple diamond.
Evan, when I look at the triple diamond and the triple diamond max, I noticed that weight all the way forward, and really that looks like it's consistent all the way through. How many grams is in that weight in the 2?
Only a couple grams, and it's more for sort of being able to vary the head weight and customs for players who want shorter shaft length. They can add some weight to it.
Like swing weight.
Yeah.
Want to achieve a swing weight.
Yep.
That looked perfect.
That's as good as I can hit it.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely. It seems like it's coming out a little bit higher than the triple diamond as we'd expect.
Well, I think that one specifically, Sammy, launched almost similar to the triple diamond, but now we're telling a story of now spin, right? At 2,500 versus 2,122 with the triple diamond. That one's going to spin a little bit more, likely launch a little bit higher overall. Really good product.
You know, one of the analogies I give sometimes for the Triforce face is think of it like a golf ball. You know what the benefits of a 4-piece golf ball are versus a 2-piece golf ball. This is very similar, right? This is a 3-piece face instead of a 1-piece face. And by having different materials, we just have a lot more control of how the face compresses, the amount of deflection, the rate of deflection, gives us more control over speed and spin across the face.
That's pretty good, Sam.
That was great.
All right, Sammy, we have the Quantum Max. So this would be kind of their core model, if you will. Let's take a look here, see what it does. I noticed it when I gave it to you and I was handing it to you. I was kind of palming it a little bit. The shape.
Yeah, it's maybe a little bit bigger than the Triple Diamond Max and the Triple Diamond. And then the other thing that stands out to me is shiny crown. Elite in the Max head was matte finish.
Yeah, this year in Quantum, all the crowns look the same. They all have the gloss look to them. And you'll see sort of the progression as we've gone from Triple Diamond to Max to the core model. This is going to be really our most forgiving of all the models. It's the highest MOI, most inertia. It's still going to be, it's not spinny, it's still lower spin than Elite. I think you'll see probably 100 to 200 RPM lower than Elite. Maybe similar to the TD Max or a touch higher, but still kind of the low to mid spin.
This would kind of fit the masses.
Yeah, this is going to fit the broadest segment of the market.
Okay.
Like I said, it's the most forgiving. It's going to fit, a wide range of handicaps.
And then to touch on the adjustability, we mentioned it in the Triple Diamond Max. This also has some adjustability.
The two Triple Diamond models are, you have a neutral and a fade, and in the core model, you have a neutral and a draw.
Okay. Sammy, would you say it's easier to turn over, easier to square up? Anything that you're noticing?
Yeah, it sits really square behind the ball, and it doesn't necessarily feel like there's too much fade bias in it. It feels very neutral, if you will.
And Evan, we're still using the Tri-Force face in all these?
Yeah, all of them have the same core technology, but the AI smart faces are going to be unique to each model. So when we go through that optimization, we're using the swing dynamics of different player types. So the swing dynamics that we use in our optimization for a core model is going to be quite different than a Triple Diamond or a Max D.
Sure.
We also vary the impact locations. So we're looking at typical impact locations of this player and trying to understand the probability of impact and factoring that into the optimization as well. So it's really geared towards the swing that we're expecting to see.
Okay.
And one of the things you're seeing is that the spin rates definitely vary somewhat as we go up, but more so the launch angle, right? So you're still hitting in the low 2000s. Probably not as low, certainly as the Triple Diamond, but your launch is starting to get easier and easier, and your shot shape is starting to get a little bit easier to turn over.
The other thing I noticed when I set it down behind the ball is the chevron logo on the Max versus the Triple Diamonds didn't have it. Is that correct?
Yeah, so the core model, as well as the Max D, will have chevrons on the top as more of an alignment aid. And then sort of the better player models, Triple Diamond and Triple Diamond Max, will be cleaner on the top line, no chevron.
That was pretty good there, Sam.
Yeah, that felt nice.
To me, maybe it looked a little bit flat in descent.
Yeah, a little low on the face, maybe. Yeah, just a touch.
Yeah, so 80 feet in the air, 31 descent, but still okay, right? So I think if you hit that same exact golf shot with the Triple Diamond Max and the Triple Diamond, that's when that spin may get a little bit too low. But so far, I don't mind this one. The one thing, Sam, as we've been testing some of these heads with the new Quantum line, these ball speeds, they're fast.
Yeah, it feels hot off the face.
Okay.
Feels like that ball's jumping off the face.
Yeah, and this, I mean, I don't know how you hit Elite driver, but probably, about 250 RPM lower spin than Elite without having the launch get too low.
If we can kill some spin, get some distance, and still have it fly pretty straight is kind of best of all worlds.
Absolutely. So we have a little bit of a low on the face strike, Sam. Let's see what that Tri-Force face does from a spin rate perspective. Yeah, so that's kind of what you'd expect, right? Launch is going to be low, as loft is actually lower on the club face. So it's 7 degrees, 6.5 degrees of launch. You still need some spin to stay in the air, but you don't want too much spin to where it's actually downrange inhibiting your distance. Retaining the ball speed at 65. I mean, that was great for what it was.
Yeah, but even on the highest spin shot and the lowest spin shot, we're still well within 800 or so, 1,000 at most RPM.
Sure.
And, a lot of clubs, you'll see those high spin shots get north of 3,000 and you'll see those low spin shots get 1500, 1600.
How'd that one feel, Sam?
That's as good as I can hit it there.
Started left, started cutting back right to your target.
Yeah.
Ended up kind of center of the fairway, really. 147 efficiency.
Yeah, it's really good.
Yeah, 169, 11 and 22. So even for a core model, still relatively low spinning.
Yeah.
Which is honestly a good thing for distance,
Definitely,
right?
100%. Lower spinning and feels easy to turn over.
Let's give it one more swing and we'll try that Quantum Max D. There you go.
Maybe slightly low on the face, but pretty close.
Okay.
This thing's fast.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it goes straight.
All right, Sammy, we have the Quantum Max D driver here. So probably the most forgiving of the bunch. Would you say that's pretty accurate?
Yeah, it's definitely going to be the highest launching and easiest to turn over.
Similar shape to the Max.
Yeah, it's a touch bigger.
A little bit bigger, but not crazy.
Doesn't, sits a little bit more square.
Yeah, they definitely, all four of them have a distinct shape. I think I could tell the difference between all four, but it's not crazy.
Evan, what are the things that you and your team could do engineering-wise for the to make something maybe a little bit more draw bias? Because when I look at that, there's no a big weight in the heel or anything like that. So maybe there's some things under the hood.
Yeah, I mean, there's a number of things we can do. So like you said, where the internal weight is placed is a big part of it. We want the center of gravity to be on the heel side of the club.
Okay.
And the heels to sort of generate some gear effect in order to create some side spin or reduce the amount of slice spin. And then there's some other design specs. So the lie angle is a little bit more upright, the hosel is a little bit closer to the face, and the face angle is not quite as open.
There's a nice push draw there, Sam.
Auto draw.
You know, we talked about who these clubs are for, and a lot of times people want to associate a handicap with this. And
sure.
Generally, yes, people who hit big slices are players that are higher handicap. But this is another case of where you're just fitting what the consumer's trajectory and shot shape that they want to see. There's plenty of better players who think this is just an easy way to hit a high draw and love it.
How about that, Sammy? Nice tight draw. I think what's interesting, Sammy, is a lot of these models, they're certainly on the lower end of spin, and they are different spin rates, and they tell that story of spin, maybe from lowest in the triple diamond to your max D being the highest. But overall, all encompassing, they're kind of on the lower end of spin, and so we as fitters, that's great, right? Because then we could just add loft. There's a bunch of ways that we could do it, different shaft. But starting here at a neutral position, being low spin, going forever, still having good downrange dispersion, that's wonderful.
Yeah, I think I always tell people it'd be so much easier for me to find you spin than take it away.
I agree.
Should have bought some super softs. The last thing, a lot of times you see the speed really drop off when you get to the higher, more forgiving models. Right. They're either bigger in head shape, tend to be a little bit slower, but you're seeing the speed still at 168, which is near where we started at Triple Diamond.
That's great.
All right, Sam, let's hit one more. And then I do want to compare all four models, the Triple Diamond Max, the Quantum Max, and then the Quantum Max D.
Yeah, let's do it.
It did what it was supposed to do.
Drew.
Yeah, so the first club we hit sort of took the left side of the course out of play, and this club really takes the right side of the course out of play.
Great. Love it.
Let's take a look. Evan, we really have a story here to tell. Sam provided a bunch of data on the four models, the Quantum Max, the Quantum Max D, the Quantum Triple Diamond, and the Quantum Triple Diamond Max. One thing that we were kind of looking at, and Evan and I were discussing, the Quantum Max D being a little bit low on the ball speed was kind of odd to us. And we figured that's probably because the CG is closer to the heel. And being a better player, you were finding the center a little bit more often. So that's why that ball speed is just a little bit lower. What else do you notice here, Sam?
I think they all told a good story in terms of spin, with the Triple Diamond being the lowest, which we would have expected. And then the Max D being the highest. But yeah, I think it tells a good story from a spin standpoint and a ball speed standpoint. I think they all did what we expected them to do, which is what we hope for.
Yeah, great. And then Evan, the Quantum Triple Diamond and the Triple Diamond Max, the spin rates being fairly similar, the Triple Diamond being a little bit lower and the lowest of the bunch for sure. You were mentioning that the Triple Diamond Max, it's really, it is going to be a low spinning driver, but it's also going to be really forgiving.
Yeah, I mean, I think the biggest thing between the Triple Diamond and Triple Diamond Max is more the forgiveness and the consistency, the start line, the shot shape. So, ball speeds you can see are similar, launch and spin are going to be similar. It's just those subtle differences in sort of start line and shot shape. And then again, the TD Max is going to provide a little bit more forgiveness and a little bit more consistency.
Yeah, that would make sense. And bias downrange and forgiveness on miss hits. All those also kind of start to separate each other within the four heads that we tried. That was wonderful. Evan, I can't thank you enough for coming to Scottsdale. Sam, thanks again for providing all this wonderful data and hitting it straight and far.
You got it.
And we appreciate that. We have the Quantum Max from Callaway. We have 4 models, the Triple Diamond, the Triple Diamond Max, the Quantum Max, and the Quantum Max Draw. When you're ready to get fit for your Callaway Quantum Driver, make sure you book a fitting at your local True Spec.